Katherine Hague joins us. Katherine is in from Toronto. She's here for a conference going on, a startup conference for web and Web 2.0 and entrepreneurial type companies. Thanks for coming in, Katherine.
Thanks so much for having me.
Now, Katherine, you have your own online site called Shoplocket.
Yeah.
Did I get it right? Shoplocket, which is an online shopping site where people can create their own listings and manage their own listings and promote their products that they're selling in a variety of ways. And how long have you been doing this for?
We started working at the end of last year. Now we've been fully launched for about 4 months now.
So you're only 4 months into startup. Wow.
Yes.
How many hours a day do you work?
How
many hours
whenever
a day do you
we're
spend
awake,
doing
we're
social?
Basically working.
it's your absolute life right now, because you're a young entrepreneur. You're fairly young, right?
Yes.
So now I wanted to ask you about it because it's a compelling product. I really like the design, and so tell me how you went about starting the product, and then we'll get into the details of what the product does in a few minutes. But what was the genesis of this?
Yeah, so my background is in business and marketing, and I've always loved startups and always been part of the startup community. And about 1.5 years ago, my good friends that founded a company called Shopify launched this new thing called a theme store for Shopify, and I decided to get involved and actually launch a theme on that theme store.
Now, Shopify I guess it's a success story in Canadian high tech. I think based in Ottawa primarily.
Yeah, Ottawa.
And they are a shopping cart provider. So they are a website provider or an internet provider who gives you the architecture, the back end you need in order to launch a web store. Have I kind of captured it properly?
Yeah, exactly. So when you decide, I want to launch a new storefront to sell a bunch of different products from, you can use Shopify, and it'll give you a new website that you can have all of your different product listings, people can browse. And what the theme store was the ability to pick, what does that store look like? And you could pick from, 100 different themes and, what are the colors I want, what's the orientation I want. And
so if I was a fly fishing store and I had a retail location, I would look on I would say, I want to bring my store online.
Yeah.
I would go to Shopify. I would sign up for an account, which I can then tie into my accounting system, my inventory system. They've got all those sort of elaborate hooks. But now for the look and feel of my store online, I might look at some of the themes. I'd be looking for ones that are in hunter green and maroon. That's really my design. That's really going to fit for the fly fishing aficionado.
Exactly, and my theme was actually Mad Men inspired. So the first one was Madison Avenue, and then we had Fifth Avenue and a whole bunch of New York themed stores.
And so you're basing it off the hit TV series. Okay, so very thin black ties.
Yeah, so the first one was sort of very maroon and very subtle colors and cocktail inspired.
So how long did it take you to develop the theme?
The theme, actually, I did with a good friend of mine who's an amazing designer. He built it in about 2 weeks, and I sort of took on some of the financial risk and some of the marketing side of things, and we actually broke even in about 3 weeks after we launched the store.
Wow! So you started building the themes, and that became a business direction for you. Why did you stop building themes and decide to step out of the Shopify world?
Well, I love doing it, and actually we made about $16,000 in profit just in the year that we first launched the theme, and
which is really good for
2 weeks work. Yeah, it's pretty good, and I didn't even do that 2 weeks work. So I loved working with all the store owners and started brainstorming. There must be other cool apps, cool things that I can build for this, and really realized that there's this huge opportunity there. And then I had my own product. It was just some fun T-shirts that I had made, and I wanted to sell them. And I was like, okay, great, I can finally start a storefront. But I realized that, for someone like myself that has a blog, that has a website, that really only has one product that they're trying to sell from that, it doesn't make sense to create an entirely new storefront, redesign it. One product can kind of look a little bit silly in a store.
Yeah, it's overkill for sure.
Exactly. So what could I use that would still make me look professional, something I'd be proud to share? And I found myself quickly going to Amazon, to eBay,
Amazon, Craigslist even.
Craigslist, PayPal buy buttons. It just, after working with something as awesome as Shopify, it just seemed so unprofessional. And why was this problem that seemed so simple? I have one product and I want to sell it. Why was it actually just so complicated? And that's really where Shoplocket was born. And we wanted to make really selling a product just as easy as sharing a YouTube video.
Okay, and that's really the theme. As I look at your site, and I did sign up and start to play with it, it does have the feel, at least from how you manage your listing, of kind of like a YouTube video. So you sign up for an account, and your sign up Your barriers for entry are pretty low. I think they asked me for my email address, and that was it. So there was no whipping out my credit card and charging. So we'll get into the financial relationship a little bit later. So I signed up for the account, and then it says, what do you want to sell? It's basically the way that your site works. So as I create a listing, walk me through what happens as I create my listing, and then what my options are as far as selling something. And we should point out, this is probably not for selling your used set of snow tires.
Yeah.
That's sitting in the garage. This is for more boutique items, something that's unique, something that has some intrinsic value, or maybe a craft that you're making, something that's unique from that perspective.
Yeah, something you'd be proud to show off. So we have a lot of self-published authors. We have a lot of companies that have merchandise, events that have T-shirts, bands selling their first record, their first CD. So it's really things that you want to share with your network. You're proud to put on Facebook or on your blog, or things that other people would want to continue to share as well.
Okay, so it's going to be quality product, boutique type product. What happens now? I create a listing, I import a photograph into my listing, and
so
what's the next step?
Yeah, you literally just name your product, write a description, upload a photo. You can pick the style for what you want your product to actually look like when it's embedded in a blog post or on a website.
And that's what the wrapper around the Shopify ad looks like.
Yeah, so it's basically the wrap around your Shoplocket widget, and it's the color.
I said Shopify. Sorry, Shopify. Yeah.
A lot of people do that. Too many things with shop at the beginning here in Canada. Yes. But basically, you pick the color, basically that's wrapping up your product listing. You hit publish, and basically you put in a PayPal email address, and you're done. And whenever someone actually purchases your product, the money's going to go straight to your PayPal account. If you're in the States, you also have the option to sign up something called Stripe, which is in beta now in Canada. It's one of the coolest payment processors out there. So
we're going to see competition for PayPal.
Well, yeah, it's definitely already happening in a very big way down in the States with Stripe.
Okay.
And now, just about 4 weeks ago, they launched their Canadian beta. So we're excited to be some of the first people using that. So keep your eyes peeled for Stripe as it comes.
I'm making a note as we speak. Okay. I think that for some of our audience, though, we've skipped by a really important part, which is, you're saying that I'm going to sell stuff. First of all, how do I know that it's been sold?
Mm-hmm.
B, where am I selling it? Where is this listing? Magically, suddenly people are looking at this ad. So let's walk through. First of all, procedurally, how is the notification and the transaction handled? Tell me that.
So what happens is once you've actually made a sale, we'll notify you by email, and then you can also log back into your Shoplocket account to actually see a listing of all the orders that have come in and view more details about each of those transactions. But the way that you would have actually gotten the word out after you publish it is we give you, just like when you publish a YouTube video, you can either link directly to the YouTube video, or you can embed that video on your Facebook page or on a blog post or on an existing website. So it works the exact same way with Shoplocket. You can either share a link to where we host it, or you can actually embed it directly on any existing site that you already have. So
the embed code, and for people who haven't ever played with YouTube or played with working with embed codes, it creates a little snippet of code, which if you have a blog such as, we were talking last week about a WordPress site. Mm-hmm. If you've got a blog, your own WordPress site, you can, instead of using the WYSIWYG editor where you're basically looking at your text bolded and your graphics as they're in place, you can look at the underlying code behind that, and within that underlying code you can embed this piece of code that you've created in Shoplocket, and it then, as soon as you look at and then when you post that posting, it will appear as a nice graphical representation, widget, widget, where you can just, the people see the nice wrapper, they see the ad, they click on it, click here to buy, and it takes you into your payment processing system.
Exactly. So yeah, just trying to keep it really simple and not have to deal with any of the complexities of, what photos, how am I going to arrange the text, what do I do if I have different colors or different variants of what this product is, and taking all the complexity out of that and just wrapping it into this one little widget that you can just share anywhere.
How are you going to be paid? How are you going to make your money out of this, young lady?
So we don't actually make anything until someone makes a sale. And then we have a 2.5% transaction fee that is just a split payment off your PayPal transaction fee. So we're paid every time there's a sale for our 2.5% fee.
So if I'm selling something, it's PayPal, I think, takes about 3%. Is it 2.7 or
2.9 plus 30 cents.
Plus 30 cents. So PayPal's going to take that. You're going to take 2.5% off, not of the net, but not of the subtracted total, but of the grand
Yeah.
total. So you're going to lose about
5.4 30
plus 30
cents.
cents. That's what it's going to cost you for the transaction, which it really isn't too bad. I mean,
well, no, I mean, so really on any storefront platform, you're going to have to pay some sort of transaction fee, whether it's on Etsy, whether it's on Shopify, whether it's on eBay. Actually, eBay fees are much closer to 9%
by the time you get it done.
By the time you're actually done. So yeah, we're just trying to keep it really simple and make sure that all of our sellers are not taking on huge monthly commitments and risk, that they can just as you succeed, we'll succeed as well.
So eBay and Amazon, who both sell products, used products, take on the responsibility of reaching the marketplace. People go to search for your product on eBay. That's a powerful marketing tool.
Yeah.
You've decided to completely eschew that model and say you're responsible for reaching your customers yourself. We're just going to be a transactional processing engine for you, making sure that the transaction happens clearly, easily. We lower the barriers for your customers to purchase. And we're going to give you some nice, powerful tools that allow you to create ads that are fairly compelling.
Yeah, so we're ideal for the person that, whether it's just your friends or whether it's your company or whether it's your following that already have some sort of network that you want to sell to. And it's very similar to if you launch your own website that's a storefront, you have to drive your own traffic and you build up your own audience. But, why should that have to take you a couple of weeks or a couple of months to launch? We'll let you be just as professional as that, but in just a few minutes. And a lot of people see, those marketplace solutions as being a little bit unprofessional, and I don't necessarily want to direct someone where they're going to see hundreds of thousands of other products as well as mine.
That's the challenge that you face in those areas. So you've been going for 4 months now. Were you in beta before that, or is that including your beta time?
We're still in beta. Before that, we were in closed beta, so you had to have a special invite to get in.
So now you're in open beta.
Open beta, yeah.
We should point out that Google, I think, is still considered
still in beta, yeah.
So you might never get out of beta. So it's free to sign up now. Are you limited to just Canada, or are you worldwide at this point?
So people are actually using us from all around the world. In terms of currencies, however, we support Canadian, USD, and GBP, yen, and euro.
Okay. And so tell me where are you on your roadmap now? You're 4 months into it. Do you have enough users that you're starting to create some critical mass, that you're getting lots of really positive feedback, or lots of useful feedback from your user base, and you can see a solid growth curve happening?
Yeah, we're definitely seeing, more pickup every single day, and we're having some great success stories. We had a self-published author just a few days ago that sold out, all of the pre-copies of his book in about 24 hours. And it's just so great to see it helping someone like that. I think he had spent, 3 days trying to set up other solutions and just got so frustrated, and in just, less than an hour, he was already selling with us. So hearing things like that is just great for us. And we just closed a major round of funding about 4 weeks ago, so finally we're settling back into workflow and having progress, and it's been nice to get back to work.
Well, we're certainly going to keep an eye on your success. There's so many places that we could take the conversation. I'd love to know what's happening around the crowdfunding model, if they're starting to embrace what you're doing. But we've kind of run out of time already. Katherine Hague, her website is shoplocket.com. If you've got something cool to sell, it's well worth your time to check out Shoplocket. Thanks, Katherine.
Thanks so much.
I'm Steve Dotto, and you're tuned in to Dottotech.